What was your budget for the wedding? Did you go over? Our original budget was Were there any sponsored things? Basically booked our Maldives hotels for free. Do your Korean parents care about moving in before the wedding? Alright, let's sit comfortably. Okay, hey guys, welcome back to another video. I felt like doing this video might be helpful for anyone who's also wedding planning or thinking of wedding planning and are curious to see what it's like. Alright, first question. Did you use a wedding planner? I actually did not use a wedding planner, but we did hire a day of coordinator. A day of coordinator is hired on the actual event day. They're in charge of overseeing all of the vendors and making sure that the day is perfectly executed. We hired Sunday morning events and they do weddings all over the tri-state area. They were so good in like really picking up all the small details that went over me and Chris's head. Big or small wedding, you need a day of coordinator because there is no way in hell the bride and groom are going to be able to control a whole ass party. Someone asked, did anyone help pay for the wedding? No one helped us pay for the wedding. You know, there will be a lot of expenses going out and we felt the most comfortable knowing that we're paying for it and not asking our parents for help. So yeah. What was your guest count for the wedding? We had 140 people. We first originally had a list of 180 and we're like, oh, we have to make it tighter. What is the name of your venue? We got married at Dobbin Street, which is like a warehouse type of venue located in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, Greenpoint, Williamsburg area. And it's where we frequented a lot when we were dating. So it was very special for us. Were there any sponsored things? The only sponsorship that I got related to the wedding was for our wedding bands. Thank you Holden for sponsoring today's video. Holden is a brand that makes customized engagement rings and wedding bands using recycled gold, platinum, and lab-grown diamonds. They have a store in Soho, so a few months ago we made an appointment and the team was so helpful in helping us find the right rings for us. I was looking for something gold, chunky, and like simple. And I ended up going with the Mobius ring in gold. Chris chose the domed in platinum. What's nice about Holden is that you can get free engravings. Their customer support team is so helpful. Highly recommend checking them out. And obviously this was a very popular question. What was your budget for the wedding? Did you go over? Tips please. So our original budget was $50,000, which is unfortunately an average cost of a wedding in New York City if you're gonna have over 100 people. Weddings are not cheap. Everything adds up and we were so privileged to even be able to afford this. We were tracking towards our budget and we were doing so well until the week of the freaking wedding. We found out that it was going to be raining and our ceremony space is outdoors, so we needed to get a tent. And let me tell you, renting tents in New York is no joke. It's freaking expensive. It costed us about like $7,000 to $8,000. It was pouring the day of, so no regrets. Some ways that Chris and I saved, for example, renting or buying a wedding dress. I went to a few Korean boutiques in Flushing, Queens, which is supposed to be cheaper than like Manhattan prices. And they were quoting me to rent a dress, meaning like you have to return it. It would be like $1,000 to rent a dress. I found my wedding dress for $730 at Beholden, which is like an anthropology wedding company. I'm happy I bought the dress because now I can sell the dress. I also had a lot of vendors who were our friends. So our DJ was a friend, the person who did our cake was a friend, and they were able to meet us halfway. Another way that we saved was we took out photo booth. We spent less than $2,000 on flowers. Flowers are so expensive. We had a really tight budget on flowers and we saved a lot by like not doing like big ceremony pieces. We instead had like stems here and there. Catering. It's cheaper to do a buffet versus like a 3-course meal, even though 3-course meals are classier. I've been to so many weddings and the food kind of just all tastes the same, but we're like, let's save a couple $1,000s on doing a buffet versus doing a whole 3-course meal. I guess my last tip and the most effective one is just like keeping the guest list tight. Having 100 people versus 140 people, there's a huge difference there because everything adds up. Someone asked, how did you deal with family trying to invite extra people? I had to ask my dad to not invite any of his friends. I think it was easier for me to put my foot down because like we were the ones paying for their wedding. So I guess it's a little trickier if you have like your parents helping you pay and they want to invite guests. You should definitely have open communication, let them know like how much more expensive it's going to be if you invite X number more guests, and just like giving them the numbers and being fully transparent in like how that will make you feel. At the end of the day, it's what the bride and the groom wants. So just really putting your foot down. Do your Korean parents care about moving in before the wedding? Yes, they cared about us moving in before the wedding, but also both of us were completely aligned in moving in together after we became a married couple. How much did you guys have to save for the honeymoon and how long were you guys there? We were in Turkey for 7 nights, 4 nights in Istanbul, 3 nights in Cappadocia, and 6 nights in the Maldives. To be honest, we didn't like talk about a budget for the honeymoon. I kind of was treating the honeymoon like this is gonna be the most expensive vacation of my life. We basically booked our Maldives hotels for free. Other than the upgrade that we paid for from like the beach villa to the overwater villa, which was like $200 to $300, we didn't spend anything on our accommodation because we opened up Hilton credit cards. See, there are a lot of expenses going out, so we racked up our points. I had Chris sign up as a diamond member, which is like the highest tier Amex Hilton card, and you get a free night. I registered for the 2nd tier card and you get like a free night after spending $15,000. We're like, oh great, but we have so many expenses going out. So we used our cards to rack up all the points, pretty much had a free Maldives stay. What was the best part of your trip in Istanbul? The best part was definitely the food. I love kebabs, so that was like right up my alley. I also love seeing all the cats. Like there's so many cuties like walking around everywhere and you wish you could just take them home. How did you guys get around during your honeymoon stay? Did you rent a car? I highly recommend not renting a car in Istanbul. The city is like way too crowded and I feel like the driver's a little crazy. But we rented a car in Cappadocia. Did you guys have a bridal party? No, we did not have a bridal party and I think it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. How much time did you guys have to plan everything? We had 7 months to plan. I got engaged in March. We got married in October. In hindsight, it was a fortunate thing, but I got laid off in between. So I had some time to wedding plan because I didn't have a job. Someone said, what is something you could have done without? This is gonna be a controversial one. But I think that we could have done the wedding without program cards because we had a shit ton of program cards left over and you know, all that stuff adds up. Yeah, no one touched the program cards. The last one is, what is the worst and best part of it all? Worst part of it all was just like the 2 weeks leading up to the big day. It was so overwhelming. And I think it's because I also started the new job and I was like just perpetually tired. All the expenses are going out at the same time. So it's a lot of money, it's a lot of stress, and you're just like kind of counting down until the big day. And the best part of it all, I think obviously the wedding day was so much fun, but I think the best part of it all was just like moving in with Chris and like starting this like new life together. We're in a whole ass new borough, so it's really exciting for us. And yeah, hopefully this video was helpful for anyone who's curious about wedding planning in New York. Any other questions, feel free to DM me, I will answer them. And thank you Holden again for sponsoring this video. Thank you for making our day so special. We love our wedding bands. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one.